Yeah, you'll be fine right there. As long as this doesn't bother you guys, because I'm going to be running around, so I got to make sure it doesn't interfere with you. Testing, 846. So, I was telling you guys about the YouTube, right? So if any of them look it up, the screen title thing, I don't think they'll see it at this point, but the screenshot thumbnail will say Reno Ice because it won't change for me. Okay. But the title of the video will say Monsters versus Lancers and today's date. Okay. And then feel free to share that with anybody you want.
And it was?
So it's GHN Sports. Gerster Hockey Input. And then the title will be Monsters versus Lancers and today's date, but the image, the thumbnail, will have the Monsters logo and Reno Ice because it won't let me change it. But other than that, it should be all good. So you guys have a wonderful day. Good luck on today's game.
Yeah, no, you guys
but,
were so last year.
Yeah. I was gonna say not too much luck because we want to win, but good luck. You know? Oh, well. I'm hoping, and I'll be honest. Regardless of who wins or loses, I just hope it's a good game.
And clean.
Clean. No, that's definitely. See you guys on the flip side. So Cassie, I don't know who has the key for the locker room, but the other team mom cautioned, make sure it's locked because I guess they've had some phone thefts. Yes. So she was saying be very cautious.
Yes, she did get.
Yes, I'm gonna try to share it from her phone. If you go, if you use where I've shared on the chat in previous, the one that goes to the Twilight Medic Wix or whatever, that live link always works. But I'm gonna try to share out the full link right now on there from her phone.
Thank you.
Welcome. All right, I need your phone. Sorry to everybody who can hear me talking. No, that's a player's jersey. They'll come back for it. That stuff I'll turn in. I wouldn't just acquire that. Alright, and then, so here's this. No, not yet. I'm gonna go get my phone and start my phone. I'm gonna try. I don't have memory cards. That's why I took it back to my truck. That's why I said remind me when we get home to put them back in my camera bag. I like this. I'm not worried about it. Hello, one and all, and welcome to GHN Sports. Today, GHN brings you with Fresno Jr Monsters going up head-to-head against the St. Francis Lancers. As a correction to what I said yesterday on yesterday's game, this will also be a semifinal and is not the final game. I unfortunately got my information wrong. The final game will be played February 22nd. Right now, both teams are in warm-ups. We have just over 2 minutes left of that before we get to the game start. Coming into today's game, both teams have had a long, stressful track, and we come to the culmination of their efforts with today's game and leading into February 22nd. We're currently at the point where it is an elimination round, and today will tell us will the Monsters move forward, or will they be halted in their track with their season ending? To any and all of you out there watching also, I do seem to have some audio and video issues every once in a while. If you see these pop up, if you are part of the Monsters team, please text Grae Gerster, my wife. I myself am not able to get messages during the game. That buzzer brings us to the end of warm-ups, and in a moment we will be starting the action.
You told me a different price.
Do you have the ability to move that camera? Or is it moving itself? How does it
It's
move?
moving itself.
That's
It,
what I
it,
thought,
tracks,
see?
it tracks the puck in the
I
action.
told you. Well, I've seen it go down to an empty ice before and come back.
That's if there's nothing going on.
Yeah, there's nothing going on. It'll sometimes pan and track, and it's not. It's all live, so it's not great, but it's about.
It's better than
the
live ball. I hate watching live ball.
bad part about it is you have to listen to my.
No, you're actually pretty good out. We were talking, I was like,
Yeah, and it's got the right one and the right hand, and
and it's grainy, it kind of skips.
yeah. And so this so far, a lot of people really like it. So I've been happy to keep it going. Yeah. And how do you think we're going to do in today's game?
We're going to win.
We need to win. We need to win. They got to be angry bees out there.
Excellent. Well, let's see them do it. Yep. All right, Monster Moms. How are we going to do today?
Fabulous.
Are we going to win?
Yes.
Who's going to be the best player?
The entire team. Yes, all of them.
Excellent. And how about you? What are you hoping to see today?
I'm hoping to see us win by a lot.
Excellent. With that, we're coming to the start of the game. Monsters and Lancers both at their respective benches. Got our starting lines coming out to the face-off circle. Enthusiastic tapping by both teams, ready to get this game on the go. We got 34 white and number 2 Shimzu. Monsters take the drop. Nissan Caro on the wall passes it back to the center ice. A little scramble with Wallen coming out with it. Nope. Number 2 of the Lancers gets it. Brings it out and around back to his own end. And recrosses the blue coming through center. Charges up the wall. Nissan Caro gets in the way, knocks it off his stick. Got Woods in the wall. And the puck comes back up towards center ice. Woods has the puck. Brings it in. Passes across, but White's not able to get to it in time. Goes to the corner. Puck in the corner. Wallen gets it and tipped out. Chases. Knocks it back into his zone, but collides with another player going to the ice. The Lancers come out with it. Coming in. Knocking it down to the corner and chasing. He wraps around, passes forward to Ross. Ross shoots and gets caught up in traffic, bouncing off the skates of Wallen. Goes to the corner, and again, Ross comes out with it, passes back to Doug. Who gets it? Monsters have it coming out. Rocha by himself, 1-on-1, and we have a Fresno Monsters goal. Number 11, Jim Rocha at 15:51 left in the first period. In net today for the Fresno Monsters, we have 96 Mua. For the Lancers, stand by, I have to see his number, and I will tell you who we've got blocking their net. Face off again with Rocha in the center ice. Ready for the drop. The Lancers take the draw and bring it down the side wall. We've got 17 Ryback. Brings it to the corner. Passes it through the crease and up to Long, who has to chase it back into the center zone. He chips it up the wall back to the corner, with only the Monsters there to chase it down. Beyond moves it up the wall, but gets brought back in by Ross. Rocha now with the puck, passes through to center to Torres. Torres comes in along the wall. He shoots and gets sticked aside by the Lancers goalie. Puck moves back and forth in front of the net, ends up coming back out. We've got Holderman, knocks it back through, but it's caught up in traffic. A little scramble for it in front of the net and gets knocked back out with a Lancer collecting at the wall and bringing it back to the center. Monsters return it in. We've now got Peterson with the puck at the blue line. Comes towards the top of the slot and launches, but goes wide of the net. White with it in the corner now. Now Peterson has it. Moves it across, but no one there. Bounces off the wall, center ice, comes back down to the Monsters' end. Beyond collects in front of his own net, brings it around back. Fights for it in the back corner, passes to White, who tries to keep it moving up the boards. For the Lancers, Lodge coming up with it in the center. Caro brings it in front of the net and back around, wraps it up the wall, trying to pass the Woods. But the pass bounces up and out of play into the Monsters' bench.
Have you got the name or number of the Lancers goalie? Have you guys got the name or number of the Lancers goalie yet? The Lancers goalie?
Puck's back in play, gets knocked in the Monster zone, but caught by Esquivel. Launches it forward, tips off the stick of Rocha, and bounces down into the Lancers zone. Puck gets caught up around the Lancers net and tries to get stuffed in the side, but bounces around back, comes forward into the zone. Launches towards the net, gets caught up in the pads, and then covered by Lancers goalie number 7. In net for the St. Francis Lancers is Morales Cortez, goalie number 7. Puck is down on the Lancers' end. We have White with it in the corner. Gets it out of the battle, passes forward, but is intercepted by a Lancer. Cap bringing it down through center, passes off to the side. Gets taken a shot towards the net, but doesn't make it in. Scramble in front, Lancer with the net, tries to chuck it up and in the net, but bounces off the pads of Moore.
Good job.
And the Lancers now wrapping around, bringing it up through center. Gets it tapped off his stick, but recollects. Brings it through the Monster zone. He shoots at a hard angle, goes up and over the net, bounces off the other wall to center. Where we've got number 17, Ryback. Launches it back in. Monsters 24, Holderman has the puck, chips it forward to Wallen, goes past him, but makes it to Torres, who brings it into the Lancer zone, takes a shot, but gets tipped to a different angle by 17 Ryback. Lancers try to bring it out of their zone, get it just out before it gets caught up by the Monsters, who continue the journey to their own zone to reset the pace. Pass forward, tips off wall and stick to Torres, loses it, and a collision against the wall. Now a free puck in the Lancers' end with Ryback getting to it first, looping it around the wall. Monsters getting some changes. And Torres gets the puck, passes back to Rocha, who launches it down into the Lancers zone for Morales Cortez to catch it in his glove and stop that action. Again, in net for the Fresno Monsters, we have number 96, Nayamoa. Number 7 for the St. Francis Lancers, Morales Cortez. Score is 0-1 at 11:45 in the first period in favor of the Monsters. And we have our face-off at the left side of Cortez. Oh, we have the refs coming up to have a conversation with the Monsters coach. I don't assume he's taking a lunch order, so we'll have to see what happens. This conversation, though, is giving both teams a chance for their players to rest their legs. All right. The linesman and a ref are getting back into position. We should be just about ready to start. In the circle, we have White. They're fighting for the puck. Scuffle, 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 and Lancers get it, pass it back out, but Holderman is the only one there to catch it in neutral ice. He passes along the boards, no one there to receive it but a Lancer, who passes it back forward. Collides with his own player, but number 11 is able to catch it and try to bring it out of the zone into neutral, but Lundgren is there to take it back towards the Lancer net. Back and forth. Beyond catches it at the blue line. Passes forward to Turner. He takes a shot, misses. Now it's coming up the sidewall. Monster zone goes to the far end. Beyond there to catch it and pass it back. His pass doesn't find a friend, but manages to make it almost all the way to the other end of the zone. Or the Lancer zone, sorry. And we have, it looks like, number 8 of the Lancers. He brings it all the way down, takes a shot, but whiffs up and over. As he loses it, it comes to number 71, who shoots and scores. Correction, that's number 11, Ryback, who takes a shot, goes up and over the shoulder of Mua for a Lancer goal. That brings us to a tie game at 1-1 in the first period. 10:42 left. And that again has brought us to an even game. Johnston Lee and Rocha at the center ice. Puck goes down, the Lancers come out with it. Making its way slowly down with a constant little battle. Comes out with a Lancer on top. Johnson has the puck, but before he can get a shot off, gets pushed away. The puck ultimately going up to the wall and then around the board to the other side. We've got Nissen-Caro fighting for it, passes it up to Woods. Woods loses it, back to Nissen-Caro. Rocha now has it at the blue line, taps it over to Wallen. Wallen brings it through the zone, but loses it off his stick to a Lancer as he crosses the line. Lancer's now in control, wrapping around. They tried to pass it up the boards, but Escobar is there to push it back into Woods. And now a whistle on the play. Looks like we have a Lancer penalty to number 16. Arguello appears to be for holding. This will give the Monsters their first power play opportunity and let us see the PK abilities of the St. Francis Lancers. This will give the Monsters a needed opportunity to bring themselves back into the lead in this game. White takes the draw, but it ends up getting chipped away by a Lancer. At 83, bringing it up, chips it in, goes around to the back of the net. Escobar makes it there first, gets it to Nissen-Caro in the corner, who passes forward, but Ryback's there to knock the puck away, with it still rolling into his own end. Johnston gets it, chips it up and over into the Monsters' territory. No icing on that called. Nissen-Caro gets to it first and chips it back to neutral ice, where Young is there to collect the puck. White comes in to give them some contest for it. Although Young passes it back out in the Monster zone where Escobar is there to catch it and bring it back forward. Crosses the line to center ice, goes through to the Lancers territory, shoots and goes wide and high, short side for that. Bounces off and comes back up the walls. Woods now has it in front of the Lancer bench, but loses it to number 2, Shimizu, who shoots long shot, bounces off the pads of Mua. No one there to collect the rebound, and Shizu taps it, and we have a stop and play. We now appear to have another penalty to number 2 of the Lancers. This will be Thomas Shimizu. And this will give us some 5-on-3 action for the Fresno Monsters. Again, increasing the likelihood of stretching that lead. Or recreating that lead, sorry. Face off to Morales Cortez's left. Ends up wrapping around, coming at the boards. 19 Ray Nissan-Caro has it in the center ice. Zips around with Lancers coming up against him. He gets it to the side, passes in front towards Turner, but can't get it through. Comes back to Beyond, who takes a shot, and it bounces off the pads of Cortez. Comes back out. Nissan-Caro has it again, tries the pass to Beyond at the blue line, but he misses it with the puck gliding back to bounce off the pads of Mua. Beyond now with the puck in the zone in, coming through center. He shoots and goes up and above the net to bounce off the back glass. Comes around up the boards with Wallen now in control. Wallen passes back to Turner, who shoots, and it hits right, bouncing off of him, not making it to the net. Scramble behind, gets passed out in front of the net by a Lancer to his own teammate, who chucks it down to clear the zone. Moa taps it back behind her net to keep it away. Holderman there to grab it and bring it back forward. Holderman by himself, zipping through into center ice. Comes around, Lancer's meeting him on the sidewall. He passes along, but a Lancer intercepts and tries to clear the zone. Rocha there to tap it back in, keeping it in. But the Lancers again get it on their stick and throw it out to Monsters territory. Rocha now with the puck behind his net. Letting the Monsters reset. And he comes out taking the charge by himself. Coming through center. Has it tipped away from him by Johnson. Watt is there to get it, but loses it quickly to number 71. 71 chips it down to neutral, but Nissan-Caro is there to grab it and start the movement back towards the Lancers' net. He charges forward, but again has the puck tipped off his stick by 18 Gao. Wallen colliding with him to knock him down in the corner. Puck now coming up the boards, tipped even further up by a Lancer. Shin gets it, tries to keep it out, but it goes back the Lancer's direction. 44 back to Chiv. Had it for a moment, pushed it off his stick. It's going back and forth, back and forth. Sorry. Beyond now with it in center ice, passes back. Woods has it, passes back to Beyond. Beyond back to Woods. Woods coming up. Crosses the blue line, gets in, scrambles around a couple Lancers, gets it knocked away from him with the Lancers recollecting and bringing it back down. Escobar tries to tap it back in the zone, but comes out with Woods stealing it from a Lancer to bring it back in. Passes across to Peterson, pass doesn't connect, and we got a Lancer bringing it through center, back towards the Monsters' end. Holderman tips it away from him, but Goulet is able to try to get a shot off, doesn't get it through the traffic, and goes wide of the net. Puck now back out at the blue line. 39 passes forward to the corner, gets in, but doesn't get to the net. Ross now with it. Lost it off his stick, bounces off to Woods. Woods gets it, clears the zone for an icing on the Fresno Monsters. Face off to Moa's left. We have Torres in the center dot. Looks like it's going to be Jordy, number 14 for the Lancers. The puck is down, goes out. Peterson looked like he had it at first, but 17 Ryback had it, tipped it back forward to the corner. Holderman catches it behind the net and knocks it around the wall. Lundgren getting it and trying to bring it forward. Gets it pushed off his stick by 5 of the Lancers and ends up in the center ice. We've got Young trying to push it forward. Doesn't get through the traffic, and Torres has it trying to bring it out, but doesn't get it through center. Lundgren catches it, brings it in, takes a shot at the top of the slot, and is caught by Morales Cortez. Right in his chest, catching it in the glove. Not a lot of power on that shot. Wasn't able to get it through. Face off to Morales Cortez's left. The Lancers take this one and bring it out and around. Gets knocked back pass along the boards, collected by his own team. Chip forward, Beyond catches it in center ice and gets it away from the Lancers. Gets back, clears back into the zone with the Lancers getting control of it again. Number 2 tries to pass across, but is intercepted and knocked forward. The Lancers collect the puck in their own end, try to bring it forward, but collides with Torres in the center. Lundgren there to catch it and bring it forward again. Shoots from the right circle, bounces off the glove of Cortez. Comes out, Beyond again, tries to take another wide shot, goes wide and caught by a Lancer and cleared out to center. We have basketball there to push it back into the Lancers zone. The Lancers there to catch and throw it back out. That goes all the way down the ice for an icing on the Lancers. And the Monsters take this draw. Passes back to Nissen-Caro. Comes to the top of the slot. Takes a shot. Doesn't quite get all the way through to the net. Bounces off to the side. Woods catches it in the corner. Passes back up and intercepted by a Lancer. We have Nissen-Caro collecting it away from them. And tries to pass over. Again, bounces off the wall to no one. Lancers clear it off the wall and down to the Monster zone for an icing again against the Lancers. Score is 1-1. 4:05 left in the first period. And we're seeing a good game between these two teams. A lot of action, spending time in both ends. And face-off again, goes to the Monsters, passes over to Beyond, who moves it to Nissen-Caro, takes a long shot at the goal, but goes wide and slow. Lancers collect it, move it forward. We now have the Lancer bringing it through. Ross tries to get it, tries to shoot, gets it knocked off his stick. It goes over to another Lancer who loses it off his stick, can't get a clean shot off. And a whistle is blown. We may have a penalty in the midst of all that scramble. I don't see anybody going to the box, so that may have just been a stoppage in play. Nope. Penalty to Monsters at number 7. This will be to Austin Wallen, number 7 of the Fresno Monsters. Face off to Mua's right, 34 White and 14 Johnston. Oh, sorry, 14 Doherty. Monsters take this one with Nissen-Caro launching it around the boards. Woods tries to collect it as it goes up the wall, but just keeps it moving. We have 39 Wong with the puck now in his own end. He chips it forward, but his partner misses it, and Beyond catches it at his own blue line. Woods moves it back up, and again we've got the Lancers in control. Number 2, Shimizu, bringing it forward. Shimizu comes along the corner, passes it over, but can't quite get it to his teammate in front of the net because of the wall. Comes again in front of the net, but 14 of the Lancers kicks it away back to the corner. Ross moves it up to 24. Johnson, who moves it back, it bounces away. Ross again with it in the corner. He moves again to Shimizu. Shimizu chips it up and over, loses it. Woods has it, chips it through the neutral ice down into the Lancers zone. And Morales-Cortez comes out to stop it for his team, who grabs it and brings it charging forward. Johnson has it. Tries to pass to Aguelo in front of the net. Doesn't connect it though. Gets kicked out and Woods catches the puck, clears it down. Rocha now with it in front of the net. He shoots and bounces off the pads of Cortez. Kick to the corner. They gather again, and it comes back around to the back of the net. Rocha with it in the corner. Collides with a Lancer and can't keep it on his stick, so the Lancers bring it back out. We can have Arguello with it, bringing it in, but gets tipped away at the blue line. Doherty with it at the blue line now. Can't quite get it through the Monster traffic. Gets tipped back. And we have it looks like a slushing against 11, J-Mo Rocha of the Fresno Monsters. This will now give the Lancers a 5-on-3 opportunity and they have a chance to try to get the lead in this game. With the Monsters being down 2 players, they're going to need to work real hard to stay in front of that puck, stop it from moving farther down, and clear it out of their zone as quick as possible. The less time in front of their net, the better. Lancers win the draw, comes back to 8 right. He passes forward to Arguello. Arguello takes a shot, but it doesn't get through, and Shimizu has it, bringing it back around. Shimizu passes to Arguello. He passes back across to his teammate, who tries to shoot, but can't get it off his stick. He passes again in front of the net to Shimizu. Shimizu gets caught up, can't get it off his stick, but had a clear opening. And it is now bounced side to the wall. Monsters try to clear it out of the zone and get it across the blue line, but can't quite keep control to get it all the way down to the other end. We now have Wallen, who is out of the box. We are 5-on-4. Monsters are able to clear it out, getting it out of their zone and giving them a chance to get a breather after all of that kerfuffle. That won't be long, though, because the Lancers are bringing it right back in. Right coming up and through into the corner. Up, back towards the blue line. Tries to pass across, but Wallen gets in the way, takes the puck, and brings it through the center, charging forward. He gets tripped up, going down to the ice as he was trying to approach the Lancers' net. Well, we had a possible opportunity for a shorthanded goal by the Monsters right there, but unfortunately, they just could not connect the dots. Looks like Wallen is going back to the box, even though he was the one who appeared to have been tripped up. I'm not sure what the call was there. So we are again at 5-on-3 for the Monsters for the remainder of the second penalty. And then we'll be 5-on-4 for the third penalty for the last bit of this period and the first minute of the second period. Coach is having a conversation with the refs at the bench. He's not too happy with this call, but it doesn't look like anything is going to change from it. Face-off is going to be to the right of Mua. We have a number 12 towards of the Fresno Monsters and 14 Doherty of the Lancers. Going head-to-head on this one. Monsters take that face-off. Caro gets the puck on his stick but can't keep it as the Lancers come in quickly to take it away. At 71, comes out with it, takes a shot but gets blocked by Beyond. Goes to the corner and passes back up to 44. Betskiv. Goes back to Doherty. Betskiv has it. Now we have number 17. She passes it across. Shin gets it, lobs it up. Bad shot on it, but tipped away by Naya's glove. Almost went in, though. Got a rebound. A little bit of contestation. Goes around and back of the net. Comes to the corner. Goes up the wall. We now have Babcock. Tipped up, bounced off his stick. Goes through center. Caro almost had it. Got it out of the center and into the Lancer zone, but lost off the puck. We now have 71. Takes a shot from the top of the slot. Bounces off of Woods. Goes to the corner. Woods chips it forward, but nobody else there to receive it. Gets shot towards net. Bounces off of Beyond. Is up in the air, and that buzzer will signify the end of the first period. With the end of the first period, that brings us to our first intermission. The score is 1-1, tie game between the Lancers and the Monsters. Monsters and Lancers are both doing very well this game. Monsters have suffered more penalties and had more time missing somebody on the ice with them, making it a little bit more challenging. They're going to need to try to avoid further penalties and spend a little bit more time in the Lancer zone if they want to try to get this one out in front of them. The Lancers, however, in this last couple minutes of the first period have been showing a strong offense, keeping the puck down in the Monster zone and really overpressuring them to try to get it in the net. Morning. This game is brought to you by Holy Guacamole, America's favorite guacamole. I don't have the link for it. It's a real product, so feel free to check it out. I know they sponsor actual hockey games. Sorry, actual hockey broadcasts. This is a real hockey game. Apologies for the misspeak on that one. That buzzer brings us to the beginning of the second period. Again, score is 1-1 tie game. The Monsters are starting this period down and on their PK. The Lancers are going to have at least 1 minute left of their power play to try to score another goal and bring themselves to the lead. Morales Cortez still minding the net for the Lancers. Naya Moa is still a net for the Monsters. And both of them have been put to the test today. Lancers take the draw. Ryak with it, bringing it down. Gets it tipped off his stick by Rocha. He recollects, shoots from the angle, bounces out the pads of Moa. Ends up going around the back, up the wall. Wong has it, takes another shot from the blue line, doesn't get through. Bounces off Naya. Goes to the corner, and now the Monsters have it. Bringing it forward is Woods. He chips it into the Lancers zone, chases down. Lancers get there, knock it around the boards. We have Johnson with the puck now. Passes towards Wong, who misses it. Goes to Woods, who takes a shot from the top of the slot, but bounces off the back walls, missing the net. Ross now has it around the back. He brings it forward. Gets it across the blue line, passing over the wall, but Shimazu couldn't quite keep it. Shimazu manages to recollect the puck, brings it out, gets it vaguely across the blue line, and knocks a Monster down in the process. Johnson with the puck, passes across, but 83 couldn't get it. Ryak now with it against the other wall. He passes back along the back to two of the Lancers. And Johnston, however, can't quite get it. Gets taken out by 24. In front of the net, backhanded shot, and gets covered. Oh, gets stopped by Moa, but she doesn't quite get on top of it. The puck squirts out to the back glass, but we still have a whistle stopping the play. This one got out of sight of the refs just long enough to stop that play, which is probably a good thing for the Monsters. Face off to Moa's left. Monsters take this one, get it out, and clear the zone. The 21 of Lancers has it and chips it back into neutral as he goes across the blue line, but Woods is there to get it and bring it back in. He can't keep it in, though, as Ryback knocks it out to center ice, bounces off the wall, and we again have Beyond with it, trying to get it across the blue, but gets knocked down. He tips it back in, but the Lancers are the only ones there to catch it. Johnson passes back to shoot. Tries to pass back, but Peterson gets in the way. It gets knocked backwards anyway, and we now have the Lancers bringing it through neutral ice. Lodge with it in the corner. Tries to backhand it, but Peterson gets in the way, stopping the progress of that puck. We now have Rocha bringing it through the center with a Lancer on his back. He chips it up and in, manages to make it to the net, but Cortez is able to knock it away. Dougherty now bringing it through the center. He gets tangled up with Torres. Torres goes down but can't quite stop his progress. However, when he tries to shoot it towards the net, Peterson gets in the way. Bounces off his feet, going back to the wall. There's a little bit of a battle for it and ends up coming back around the boards to the other side. Cleared up the wall into the Lancers territory for an icing. Peterson wasn't able to catch up to it in time. That icing will bring our faceoff back down to the Monsters' end. We've got Johnson and Wallen in the faceoff circle. Monsters take it out. Torres gets it, tries to clear it down, but it stops in center ice with a Lancer pushing it back across to Krejci. Or Betchiv, sorry. He gets it around the wall. It gets caught up in the scramble. Caro tries to get it out, but Ray can't quite keep it with him. The Lancers keep it down deep in the end. To the back of Betchiv, who takes a shot from the far angle at the blue line, but it gets caught up in the traffic and knocked away. Monsters start to bring it out to neutral ice, but it gets knocked back down to their zone. Now Escobar tries to push it back forward, but again gets caught up in front of the Lancers net. And whistle brings a stop to our play. believe with where that was, it is probably an offsides. That is stop the, because they call it stop the action. And Lancers end up with the win on that face-off. We've got Shimizu comes at the top of the slot, shoots, and goes wide of the net, bouncing off. Rebound comes back in towards Niagara, saved with her left blocker, or with her left pad. Ends up getting launched back down. We have Wong. Neutralized, passes forward to Shimizu. Shimizu can't connect with it, goes to the corner, with Escobar coming along with it in the back of the net to run it back along the boards. Doesn't get across the blue line, stays in the Monsters zone, and goes back to the corner. And Lancers with it, passes across to Shimizu at the top of the slot. He shoots and bounces off the post and magically disappears. That was an interesting one. We heard it bounce off the post, did not go in, so that is a successful stop of that puck. Keeps us at a tie score of 1-1. Disappeared for a moment, couldn't find it, but when it hit the ground and rolled away, call was already down. No score. Face-off goes to the right side of Moa. Lancers end up with the puck. Moa tried to take a shot from the blue line, top of the circle, couldn't make it. It's bounced off, come back down to Lancers end for an icing on the Monsters. 12:55 left in this second period. Score 1-1, still a tie game. A lot of good action we're seeing today between both teams. Monsters end up with a win off of that face-off. Rocha now with it. Passes it around the corner, up the board to Woods. Woods has trouble getting it on his stick, so he grabs it and passes it back to Beyond. Beyond comes around to the back of the net. Passes to Woods. Woods brings it forward. Passes across the blue line through center towards Rocha. Rocha stops the momentum but can't keep it on his stick. He does catch up to it at the deep end of the Lancers, but the Lancers are there to take it away from him. Dulé can't quite keep her hands on it, so Woods takes it away from her. Comes around the back. Passes up to Beyond. Beyond takes a shot from the top of the circle. Doesn't get through traffic and bounces off to the far corner. Dulé with it. Tries to keep it up, move it up the boards, but Holderman is there to keep it back in the zone. Goes forward and comes back out to the Monsters' end anyways. Clear down to the back wall. Well, the Monsters get it and start their forward march again. Now Holderman charging forward, gets to neutralize before it's poked away by Ross, who grabs it, brings it through. Ross tries to pass across, bounces off Beyond, where 24, Johnson is able to get it. Passes across to the other wall, but again, bounces off. Monsters with it, moving it along forward. We've got Peterson along the wall, passes to Torres. Torres gets it, shoots, and bounces off of Cortez, going to the corner. They pass the rebound back to Beyond at the blue line. Beyond takes a shot, but gets knocked away and blocked by the Lancers. Peterson pushes it to the back wall to Cortez. Cortez can't quite get it, but knocks it to where Holderman can catch it. Against the wall, he is fighting with Shin and gets cleared out to center ice, where Turner moves it back into the Lancers zone. Lancers pop it back to center and bring it forward. And now Beyond with it, brings it out of the center, passes it to Turner. Turner can't connect, and it bounces off the wall to a Lancer. He brings it back and tries to pass it forward and out. Dakla backhands it down into the Monster zone, where we now have a Lancer with it against the far wall. And we have a whistle stopping play. We appear to have a penalty against the St. Francis Lancers. I didn't quite catch the name or number, but it does give our Monsters a power play opportunity at 10:52 in the second period. We've had strong play from both teams, so this man advantage may be what they need to bring themselves ahead in the score. Rocha takes a shot from the top of the circle, but it goes wide and bounces off the back glass. Comes around the wall to Nisankaro, who lobs it forward to White. White brings it out from behind the net
and passes to Rocha. Rocha goes back to Beyond, who passes it to White, but White can't get it on his stick enough to launch it towards the net. Wallen now with it. Taps it up the wall, but loses control as he's collided into by a Monster. Shin of the Lancers passes it forward and deep into the Monster zone, where we have Woods with it again behind his own net. Woods brings it forward, crosses the blue, and is able to get it into the Lancers zone. Comes to the edge of the far circle, around. Can't get a shooting lane, so he brings it around and passes forward to Rocha. Rocha has it, passes back to Beyond because he's got too much competition. Beyond passes over to Nissen-Caro. Ray has it. He shoots, but goes wide of the net. Woods with it again at the blue line. Monsters have themselves set. Trying to find that passing lane. Woods shoots and glove save by Morales-Cortez. This Monster Power Play is brought to you by Geston Pads. Geston, when you want something but you don't need the best. White takes a draw on this one, passes back to Rocha. Rocha to Woods. He misses it, but it rolls down to where White can catch it and pass it back to Woods. Woods to White. Oh, White can't keep it on his stick, and Wong is able to get to it and knock it away from him. Wong passes over to Ryback. Ryback misses it, and Woods gathers, passing back to Rocha at the blue line. From the top of the slot, he takes a shot, but bounces off of Lancer 17. We've got Nissen-Caro with the rebound, trying to bring it around. Passes across to Wallen. Wallen can't quite get his shot off, rolls off of his stick, going towards the net, but Morales-Cortez is there to cover it up, not giving the Monsters a chance to capitalize on that. Face off now to the left side of Morales-Cortez. We've got White for the Monsters in the center circle and 93, Ross. Ultimately, the Monsters end up with it. Rocha at the top of the slot comes over and chips it down towards the wall. Woods out there to grab it. Woods passes over to Nissen-Caro, who loses it off of his stick and regains control to bring it back through center ice. Comes across. And the Lancers are now at full strength. 5-on-5 back in play. Roach with it at the blue line against the wall. Johnson is able to knock it away from him. Back towards the Monsters end, but the Monsters are able to bring it over again. Ross chips it down back towards the Monster zone, but nobody else on his team is there to receive it, so the Monsters collect and try to bring it forward. However, the Lancers got some changes, and they moved over quickly to impede them. Chipping it down through center. The Lancers catch it and knock it back. Johnson lobs it back down to the Monsters' territory. Again, no one on his team there to catch it. Johnson with it at the wall, was by himself, but lost an edge, falling down, not able to take advantage. Does get up, manages to pass it down slowly into the Monsters' end, trying to get some changes for his team. Peterson with it at the blue line in zone end. Wallen bringing it out of the center ice. The puck knocked away. Oh, tried to be knocked away, but couldn't quite get it. Wallen comes around the back, tries to stuff it in the corner of the net, but Cortez is there to prevent that. Ends up going to the corner. We've got a bit of a scramble. Lancers in control now. Tried to get out of his own, but chipped back in by Wallen, and then goes back into neutral ice. Wallen can't keep control of it, loses it to the Lancers, but Peterson is there to save the day for a moment. Lancers end up knocking it back into the Monsters' territory, Beyond chasing it to the corner. Beyond catches, passes around the boards. Wallen with the puck now, Lundgren, trying to bring it up, but gets tipped away. Lancers now with it, passing across, back. And we now have Torres with it, bringing it down into the Lancers' territory. Can't keep it on his stick, though, and has to chase a free puck down to the back corner. Scramble where he kicks it out. But again, no Monsters there this time to catch it. Lundgren has it against the wall. Shoots it over. We now have Lodge bringing it forward into the Monsters' end. Loses it, but looks like Johnson is there to keep it. Pickens shoots it in front of the net, but a Monster's there to push it away. They keep the puck, bring it down through center. Rocha passes over to Peterson, back to Rocha, back to Peterson. tries to get it back over to Rocha, but Lancers are able to disrupt that passing strategy. Holderman gets it to the back of the blue line, takes a shot from the top of the slot, but the Lancers get in the way, doesn't make it to the net, and ends up bouncing off the wall, rolling back into Monsters territory for a Lancers icing. Had a couple good looks there for the Monsters, but unfortunately, we're not able to complete any of those shots or chances. Lancers have also been good at trying to limit those opportunities for the Monsters to get one in the net, and they've done a good job. The few chances the Monsters have had, they just haven't been able to take full advantage of. Same could be said for the Lancers, too, as they've had a couple chances they haven't capitalized on. Back in the action, we have Beyond trying to knock it against the wall. The pass over. White is scrambling for it now, but Shimizu comes out on top. He brings it behind his own net and starts his path forward. He passes over to Yagov. Yagov doesn't quite get it, but stops the action for Shimizu to take it again. Shimizu loses it off his stick. Yagov takes it to the corner, gets it and takes it to the corner. Going behind the net. Passes back along the boards. Coming to Betchkiv, 44 at the line. He takes a shot from the far corner, but it goes wide of the net. Comes around, and again, we've got a Lancer taking a shot at the net, but that one doesn't connect either. Bounces out of the blue line. Nobody saw it for a second, but the Monsters have found it. We now have Woods with it in the Lancer zone. Spins around, trying to keep it away from the Lancers. Takes a shot, and glove save by Morales-Cortez. Face off to the right side of Morales-Cortez. We've got Ross wins the face off on that one. Delay with the puck, center ice, tries to pass it out, but too many Monsters in the way. Escobar ends up with it, but is taken away by Delay at the blue line. She knocks it back where her team is able to capitalize on that. Wong now with it, bringing it forward through center. He passes out, but can't get it to his team. We now have Nissan Carroll bringing it back, but can't easily escape neutral ice. He makes a loop, comes in, but gets tripped up, losing the puck. And this will be a penalty. This will be a minor penalty to number 12, Dulé of the Lancers. Correction, number 72, Dulé. It'll be Riley Dulé of the Lancers. This will again give the Monsters a power play opportunity. However, the PK for the Lancers has been quite strong and not allowed them to get anything. Lancers take it. Wong chips it out, clears the zone. Bounces off the back wall. We've got Nissan Carroll chasing it down, collecting it behind his net. Passes down the wall, but it goes a little farther than Rocha was prepared to get it. Lancers again get it, clear the zone out, passes across to Ross. He can't keep up with it and gets knocked back through center. However, Wong is there again to knock it back down to the Monster zone. Wallen, gets the puck, passes across to Nissan Caro, who chips it down. But he does not chase it, does not catch it, and we now have an icing on the Fresno Monsters. Face off the Miles left. White takes the draw on that one. Passes back. Bounces up the wall with Beyond bringing the puck forward. Beyond passes to White. White passes forward to Woods. Woods loses it off his stick. And 8 right of the Lancers. It clears the zone. Beyond again is able to get it behind his net. Passes forward to Woods. Woods starts bringing it forward. Crosses in the center. Gets to the top of the slot, tries to shoot, but it knocks off the feet of a Lancer. Gets in front of the net, and rebound is knocked in by number 34, White. of the Fresno Monsters, giving them the second goal of the game and putting them in the lead once again. That is 3:41 left in the second period. Power play goal by 34. Mitchell White, 34 of the Monsters with that goal. Monsters again in the lead with a 1-1. They'll need to work hard to maintain this. With the pace of the game so far, I don't anticipate a lot more goals going in on either side, so they need to keep a strong defense while charging for the back of that net. Puck in the corner. Turner battling a Lancer, trying to get it out. Gets kicked out with Torres leading it. He chips it around to the front, bounces off the pad of Cortez. Comes out to the blue line to Escobar. Escobar takes a shot, but bounces off with traffic in front of the net. And now we have Wright bringing it forward into the Monster zone. He loops around to lose some of his pursuers. Passes over to 71. Doesn't quite get a shot towards the net, but the puck goes that way anyways, going wide. Scramble behind the net. Gets kicked out free. Turner is there, though, to try to knock it down the boards. Doesn't get enough distance on it, and the Lancers knock it back down in. And it wraps around. Lancer back at the blue line. Kicks it back down around the boards the other way. Number 5 of the Lancers catches it in the corner, pushes it back in, goes around. Now behind the net, chips it forward to the... Comes out to Lodge. Lodge takes a shot, but goes a little wide on that short side, not making it to the net. Bounces off the boards and goes around. Lancers are doing a good job keeping it in the Monster zone. Turner coming for it. Chips it down, but doesn't get it out of the zone. Wright is there to keep it in. Finally crosses that blue line. Peterson grabbing it and bringing it down into the Lancer zone. He's by himself. He takes a shot. Oh, bounces off of the right shoulder of Cortez, going up and bouncing off the glass. Got the Lancers bringing it back down and getting into the middle ice where Caro has it again. He charges forward. Coming in, one person from, shoots, and gets caught up in the pads of Morales Cortez. Well, a wonderful save. Is able to get it in and close the gap in his pads, not allowing for a rebound to get out. Shutting off that opportunity for the Monsters. White gets it kicked out of that face-off. No one firmly in control of the puck yet. And Lancers now have it and start it back down towards the other end. Gets tipped off the stick by White. And knocked down in the center. Beyond has it, neutral ice. Kicks it forward to Woods. Woods can't keep it on his stick, but White grabs it, comes in, takes a shot, and bounces off the top bar, doesn't get in the net. Lucky thing for the Lancers there on that one. Wallen has it again behind the net, tries to get it forward and around. Comes in, launches it towards the corner of the net, but Cortez has that wall sealed, so it bounces off to the far wall. Again, we've got the Monsters bringing it in. Holderman brings it across the line, gets caught up by the Lancers, though, and we have Shimazu bringing it back down towards the Monsters' end. He's having trouble getting away from Rocha, though. 1 minute remaining in the second period. Shimazu is having to bring it down to his end. He gets some space. He tries to come up the wall, but is knocked up and out of play by Beyond into the net along the side. Lancers had a lot of good momentum on that one, even if they couldn't quite get it to the Monsters' zone. Unfortunately, it was disrupted by that puck going out of play. This will bring the face-off down to the Monsters' end. To the right of Moa. We have Rocha and Ross in the face-off circle. And the Lancers take that one, passing it back out. Wong has it, tries to keep it in, crosses into center ice. Goulet can't keep up with Woods as he brings it into the Lancers zone. Shot from the top of the circle and goes wide and bounces off the far corner. Back at the blue line, we've got Wong with it. Comes in, Wallen tries to push him away from the puck, but just ends up in a scramble along the wall. Gets knocked out with the Monsters there to catch it. Holden brings it in. Chips it in. Does not chase, though, but the Lancers do. Walla now has it in the far other corner. Comes in. Where's the puck?
Jamo, that's it, Jamo!
Jamo has it. Knocks it forward, but Woods couldn't quite get to it to try to shoot it in. Lancers bringing it out. Rocha now with it atop the circle. Passes to Woods. Woods tries to one-time it, but can't get his stick on the puck and misses the opportunity. That buzzer brings us to the end of the second period. Score is 1-2 in favor of the Monsters. Welcome to the GHN second intermission report. Not a lot to say here that I haven't said already. Score is 1-2 in favor of the Monsters. We got a brief little break before we start up the action again in period 3. We've seen both teams show a lot of good spunk and energy in this one. The Monsters have been able to keep it in the Lancers' end a lot more and have had lots of opportunities. We've missed quite a few good chances, especially if you could see it. One of these last opportunities hit the bar, bounced down. We almost had that third goal, but looks like the plumbing came to the rescue for Morales-Cortez on that one. Conversely, the Lancers have spent a decent amount of time down in the Monsters' zone. Not quite enough, though. They're going to need to improve that if they want to try to tie this game up. The goal here, as you hear in almost every broadcast by myself or anyone else, both teams need to get the puck in deep, find the back of that net, and keep the energy high. Taking a look at the Monsters bench, you might see in action is number 32, Grae Gerster, our one and only gatekeeper for the Fresno Jr Monsters. She's done a good job this game, keeping that gate open and closed as necessary, allowing her team to get on and off the ice as quick as possible. Always a critical role for our backup goalie to help in any and every way. Full team effort all the way around. That buzzer, however, brings us to the beginning of the third period. We have 17 minutes of hockey left today. Score is 1-2. Monsters in the lead by 1. Center face-off, we have number 14, Jonathan Doherty for the Lancers. Number 34, Mitchell White for the Monsters. Woods knocks it down on the Lancers zone around the wall. Goes to the corner where the Monsters can't catch it in time before the Lancers whip it around to the other side. Woods ends up with it, passes front to White. White takes a shot. Oh, bounces off of Cortez. Comes back out. Nissencaro now with it. Takes a shot, but goes high and knocks off the corner of the goal net and into the glass. The Lancers now with the puck, bringing it through center. Can't quite get it across the line, no, and we now have a whistle stopping that action. Morales-Cortez was the Lancers goalie, was making his way towards the bench, meaning for a delayed penalty. Whistle stopped before he could get there, though. We have 86. Ethan Woods of the Monsters making his way to the box for a penalty. This gives the Lancers an opportunity early in the third period to try to get that second goal and even up the game. If they can do that, then it's just a charge for the front for both teams to try to see who can come out on top. Doherty wins the faceoff on that one, comes back to lodge at the blue line. He takes a lob shot. Doesn't make it to the net, bounces off of Nissencaro and goes to the corner. Passes back up and forward again. Lodge takes another shot, but this one goes wide short side, bounces off the back wall. Again, we get a shot from the blue line, gets stopped by Rocha before it can make it to the net. And we end up with a collision in the corner, stopping that puck's movement. Monsters are able to clear the puck from the zone down to the far end. Lodge chases it and gathers. Passes down, but bounces off the feet of his opponent to nobody in particular, going down to the far end for a Lancers icing on their own power play. Again, thank you for joining GHN Sports for today's broadcast of the Fresno Monsters versus the St. Francis Lancers. Remember, in net for the Monsters, we have Nyamwa, number 96 for the Monsters. What? Oh, do you know who it is? Okay, see. We actually have a change in goalie for the St. Francis Lancers. We now have number 32, Keegan Leroux. Puck is launched down. The Monster zone is cleared again. Lancers now with the puck, bringing it forward. Not much time left in their power play. Johnston is bringing it up, gets it tipped away off of his stick. Minsters tries to get across the blue line, but gets knocked back into the Monster zone, and then we have a whistle stopping play. So once again, for the Lancers, we now have a goalie change. 32, Keegan LaRoe will be minding the net for the Lancers. Monsters started off with the puck off that faceoff, but the Lancers quickly take it away. We've got Shimizu coming in along the side. Couldn't quite get a shooting lane off, but he passes over to his teammate, who tries to shoot but gets knocked over as he's doing it, so a goal is wide on that far side. Comes back along. We still got the Lancers with it. Shimizu lost it for a moment, but passes out. None of his teammates can connect with it. So they take it back to their own zone, wrap around. Well, Woods now with it, trying to bring it down. Can't get across the blue line before it's tipped away by a Lancer. Ryback tries to catch it, knocks it back, tries to knock it away, but it ends up going back towards his own zone. And LaRoe tries to stop the momentum of the puck for his team, who grabs it and brings it forward. Wong has it, chips it forward as he starts to get stopped by a Monster. But we have Torres now in control of it, trying to bring it forward. He passes out to Peterson. Peterson brings it forward and manages to pass across, but Woods can't get to it before it's intercepted by a Lancer. Shimizu now with the puck in front of his own net, starts his charge forward again. Monsters are back to full strength, 5-on-5. He passes over to Abuela, who has it tipped off his puck by a Monster, and again the Monsters start back towards the Lancer's net. Woods now has it against the, nobody has it as it rolls behind the net. Peterson chasing it, but doesn't get to it before it's caught in the corner by a Lancer, who brings it back the other direction. Abuela has it in the corner. He shoots, he passes over the right cap, and he can't quite get the shot off. Going back up the wall. Peterson doesn't get to it in time. Bounces off, comes out to Torres. Torres tries to clear it back. Doesn't quite get out before a shot is taken, and it goes up and over the net. Bounces off. Wong, he still has it. He takes an easy lob to the front of the net, but Rycap is not there to try to get it in. Comes out along the wall, bounces backwards. Rycap again in the corner with it. Gets tied up. Tied up by Beyond. Ends up getting kicked out. Lancer's still in control of it. Gets passed forward. Shot on the net. Bounces off the side. Yeah, Lancers clear forward. Goes out through center towards their own end. He's able to catch it and bring it back. Lancers bring it back. Pass forward to Ross. Ross gets it taken off of his stick by Rocha. Rocha passes over to Turner, who misses the pass but chases it down and catches up with it. As it tipped off his stick by a Lancer in the corner, but manages to get back towards Rocha. Rocha takes a shot from the top of the circle, doesn't miss, but bounces off the leg pad of Cortez. Ends up coming back up the wall. We have Delay with it. Delay bounces off the wall, chipping in the corner and chasing after it. Holderman gets to it first, then keeps it moving faster along the boards down the side, but a Lancer catches it at the blue line, takes a long shot, bounces off the left pad of Moore. Goes to the corner, Lancer catches it, Delay chips it up and over down to the center, where Babcock is able to get to it, but he can't keep control as it gets knocked down to his own end. He does catch it behind his net, keeps the momentum going back the other way, but gets stopped up in his own zone. Roach now with it, passes across to Lundgren, who takes a shot but gets tipped up high over the net. Now in the corner, we got a bit of a scramble with the Lancers coming out of it with the puck, moving it back down towards the zone, Monster's zone. Ross with it up against the wall, loses it off of his stick, but before he can recollect it and get it out, we have a whistle stop in the play for a slashing. This penalty will be to number 17 of the Monsters, Andrew Turner. 2 minutes for slashing. .11:02 left in the third period. Score is still 1-2 in favor of the Monsters. Once again, the Lancers find themselves on a power play with a better opportunity to try to even that score. The Monsters need to strengthen their PK to try to prevent that from happening. Shot from the blue line, goes towards the net. Leg stop by Moa. Rebound comes out and tries to get shot in, but goes a little bit wide. Now coming up along the wall, pass across to the other side. Up to 24, he knocks it back towards the Monster zone. No one there, to the corner. Beyond now in control of it, gets it down, wraps it around the sides of the boards to clear the zone. LaRose stops it behind his net for his team to pick up, and they get it past the forward, but Wallen gets it from the neutral zone and lobs it back in. It's tipped up and over. We now have another penalty coming to the Fresno Monsters. It seems I was wrong. This was just a stop and play. I don't see for what. We will remain 5-on-4 at this time. Going back down to the Monsters in. Face-off will be to Moaz, right? We have White and Shimizu in the circle. Shimizu comes out on top victorious. It's passed back to Ross. Ross from the top of the circle. Tries to take a shot. Bounces off a Monster. Slow rolls towards the net. We get a couple shots towards Moa, but she was able to stop both of them. Rebound goes out, allowing her to get back to her feet. Another one shot goes wide, bounces off the wall, comes up to Shimizu. Shimizu starts to get ready for a shot, but passes forward. Comes back to Shimizu. He passes across to his teammate. Comes across forward. Dougherty tries to get it towards the net, but ends up tipping back towards the wall. Mr. takes him to the boards, trying to get it away from him. Rolls along the front. We now have a scrum in the corner. Ross taking down White and getting the puck out to Dougherty. He takes a shot, gets kicked away by Moa. Back to the corner. Wallen now with the puck. He lobs it up, clearing it out of his zone. Trying to get a little bit of breathing room for his team and allow for some changes. The Lancers collect, trying to take advantage of the last couple seconds they have. Charging forward. Shimizu has the puck. He comes in. He shoots. Oh, loses his footing as he takes a shot. Goes wide of the net. Ross now with the puck, takes an opportunity from the top of the thing. Rocha gets in the way, and they bounce off of each other, and we have a whistle in that play, stopping the action. Bad for the Monsters. Rocha just got a penalty for tripping, getting him 2 minutes in the box, but good for the Lancers as they now have a 5-on-3 opportunity for a short period of time. With the momentum they've been showing here in the last couple seconds, this may lead to them tying up the game once again. Face-off circle, we have 86, Ethan Woods for the Monsters. And number 14, Jonathan Doherty. Doherty takes the draw, gets it out to Wong, who takes a shot, but the Monsters are able to get in the way and stop that. We have a whistle stopping play. I don't see exactly what's going on.
What happened?
I don't know exactly what happened, but we now have 34 White of the Monsters going to the box. It seems we'll have a lot more 5-on-3 for the Lancers here. Monsters get the draw. Beyond with it. He launches it against the boards, clearing the puck back down to the Lancers' territory. LaRose goes to stop the puck behind his net, but ends up letting it be caught instead by his teammate. Passes across to Ross. Ross can't keep it on his stick, but chases down in the corner. Beyond again, knocks it back around, but we've got right there to stop the momentum, keeping it in the Monster zone. Woods can't quite get away from Shimizu at the top of the slot. Shoots and stop and glove save. Sorry, initially stick save by Naya. Rebound goes down to the ground, and where she covers it up to stop that movement. We have 8:25 left in the third period. Score is still 1-2. Our Monsters are leading by 1. And the Lancers again come out with the puck after this face-off. Wong with it in the far corner. Moves it along. Shimizu catches it behind the net. Tries to pass forward, but Carroll got in the way of that one, so he passes it down around along the boards instead. Right with it now at the blue line. Passes across. That shot gets taken, but gets tipped off of the stick and too high by his own teammate. Ross again has the puck. Passes across. Passes back to Ross. Ross doesn't connect with it, but gets the bounce off the wall. He takes a shot, but again bounces off of Shimizu, not making it to the net. Again gets knocked towards the net without any intent. Goes behind. Ross with it. Passes in front. Oh! We got number 71. Tried to take a pot shot. Didn't get through. Bounced up and over, tipping off the glove of Moa. And again, now Woods is able to knock it down the boards, clearing it out of the zone, giving the Monsters a chance to take a breather. Lancers pass it forward. No one there to connect with it. And an icing on the Lancers. Unfortunately, Shin just wasn't able to get to that puck in time, get that puck on his stick, and went down too fast and far. And now we have an icing, bringing stop to the action. A breather for the Monsters, and the puck is going to start down in the Lancers' end. Face-off will be to Luro's left. Lancers come out on top with this one, bringing it back down through center ice. Carroll gets him to lose it off his stick, but they both chase it down to the corner. Beyond hits it, wraps it around the boards, knocks it free, gets caught up in center ice by the Lancers again. Pass across, no one home to get it, so Beyond gets it and clears it down again. Luro behind his net to stop the puck. Passes it back out and forward to Doherty. It's caught up in the feet of Wallen. Wallen brings it forward, but before he can catch up and get a shot off, Luro jumps out and covers it up. We also now have both Monsters out of the box. 5-on-5 hockey once again. Dowdy and White make their way to the face-off circle. A little conversation with the rep to see what's going on. Puck goes down. Lancers again come out with it. Gets passed out. Rolling through center with no one in control. Ross and Shimizu catch up with it, though, at the wall in the center. And then pass it over to Doherty crossing the blue line. He chips it down in the corner with Holderman getting it, trying to keep it moving. Rocha with it now. Roach can't keep it on his stick as he tries to move around. Ends up behind the net again in a scramble. It's kicked out in front of that, but White's there to grab it and bring it forward. White gets it across the blue into the Lancer territory before they're able to get it back from him, and they charge forward. Shimizu with it at the blue. At the top of the zone, he knocks it in, down around, already catching it behind the net. He tries to kick it out forward, but Beyond is there to stop it and get it down the boards. Wallen now with it. Tries to clear the zone, gets it to the center ice, but couldn't get enough on it to get it out. Rocha catches it, though. Brings it in, takes a far angle shot, and bounces off the pads of Leroux. Rocha again with it in the corner. Knocks it down the boards to Beyond. Beyond from the top of the circle takes a shot, gets caught up, though, in the traffic and couldn't get through. Never made it. Lancers again get it down through center. But the Monsters take it away at their blue line and are able to move it back. Lancers recollect on their own end, push it forward to Ross. Ross tries to chip it down into the Monsters zone, but gets caught up in the feet of his teammate. Monsters end up with it again. Holderman knocking it down to the center ice. Red gets it over, moves it, passes it over. Again goes to Ross. Ross chips it down, allowing his team to get some changes. Holderman in the corner. Loses it to right. Comes out down the wall to Johnson. Johnson loses it off his stick. Goes down the wall. Dulé passes it back down. Holderman knocks it up the wall. With no one home and an icing for the Monsters. Face off to Naya's left side.
4 minutes, that's it.
Johnson and White, the face-off circle. Puck goes down. The Lancers take it out, but the Monsters again are able to quickly clear it down out of their zone. Which would be great if they were on a power play, but since they're not, that results in an icing.
4 minutes, Red, 4 minutes.
This icing is brought to you by Pillsbury Cake Frosting. If you're going to make a cake or cupcakes, you need icing. Monsters take that one, try to knock it forward, but too many people in the way, doesn't get out of the zone. Woods now has it, passes it down the boards. White misses, and it rolls free on its own. We got it. Rocha catches it in the corner, comes in, takes a shot from the short side, and knocks it in and past Leroux for another Monsters goal. That goal goes to 11, Mr. Jamo Jamison Rocha. I might be wrong because I think I saw Wallen at the front of that line. We do have a Lancer down on the ice behind the net. And he's getting back up on his feet to make his way back to the bench. We are very thankful that this will turn out worse than it could be. At the face-off circle, it looks like we're going to have Shimizu 2 and 34 White. The Monsters end up with a puck. Woods bringing it around and passes back to Escobar, who launches it forward. Beats a Lancer right in the center dot. Betchkiv is able to get it, wrap around, and knock it down in the Monsters zone. Nobody is there for him, though, to receive it. So Woods gets it and starts to bring it back the other direction. It ends up with White coming back through center, bounces off the boards to Wallen. Wallen can't connect with it, so we now have a right back bringing it around. He tries to pass it forward, but Escobar catches it along the wall in the center. He knocks it back down and around, and Babcock is able to get it and keep it moving. Once you bring it up, passes to Ross. Ross knocks it down slowly to the end of the Monsters zone. And Escobar catches by the net, tries to bring it forward. Launches it out, gets caught up in Betchkiv at the blue line, where he scrambles against it, Wallen, to try to bring it out. Goes into the Monsters zone, but the Monsters are going to use this opportunity to get changes on their line. Comes around, Dowdy with it. Now passes to Shimizu. He can't keep it on his stick, and it gets knocked down. Albert Dowdy is there to get it again. Passes across to Shimizu. Shimizu passes across to Ross. Ross stops it, but can't keep it on his stick. And now Torres knocks it back the other direction and chases it. Or it looks like. Caro now has it in his own end, tries to bring it around. Pat lobs it up and over. Goes towards the net, but is easily stopped by LaRoe, who plays the puck to keep it in action. We've got 2:30 left in the third period. Score 1-3. Monsters up by 2. Holderman now with it in neutral ice. Chips it down into the Lancer territory. The Lancers grab it, wrap it around the back of the net, and passes up and over. It bounces off in front of the net. And now Ross with it. Ross shoots and bounces off the right pad of Mua to the corner. Again, Shimzu with it behind the net. He launches it in front of the net. Doherty tries to get it in. Oh, it's kicked away by Holderman. And then launched off to the side wall. Johnson again with it in the center ice. Has it pushed off his stick by Torres. Peterson tries to get it, but 24 is able to keep it in his own end. In the center. He does lose control of it, but his team keeps it. Back in neutral ice again, Johnson. Doherty brings it back down to the corner. And gets run into by Holderman, who takes it away. Along the boards right, chases it down. Is able to get it and pass across to his teammate. Comes around to the corner. Holderman brings him up against the boards, trying to get the puck away from him. Comes in front. Comes atop, shoots, and doesn't make it through traffic. Bounces off of Holderman's back. Holderman gets it off to the side, but can't clear it out of the zone. Comes up again. Johnson with it, loses it to Woods. We have 1 minute remaining in the third period, where the puck goes down into Lancer's zone. Peterson chases it, but he's got a little bit of company pushing him aside. Puck is sitting by itself and lonely until Johnson is able to get it. He brings it back through center, charges up. He shoots. Oh, snatched out of the air by the glove of number 96, Moore, stopping that one from going in. We've got 40.4 seconds left in the third period. Not impossible for the Lancers to overcome, but it's not looking good. We have a timeout for the Lancers. I also see LaRue making his way and sitting on the bench. Looks like they may be deciding to keep him there to get the man advantage. With this last 40 seconds of the game, the Monsters are going to need to be very careful. The Lancers have been able to pick up their pace and keep a lot of pressure on them here on the last little bit. And with a man advantage, they may be able to get one in. They do need 2, but I've seen stranger things happen. Mitchell White in the face-off circle for the Monsters. Jonathan Dougherty. And the Lancers take the draw. They get it out. Pass back at the top of the slot. He tries to take a shot, but Lodge is unable to connect. Doesn't get through. Let's move forward. Shimizu takes a shot, gets in. Oh, and we have a Lancers goal. By 93, Duncan Ross. This has managed to bring the score up 2-3. Monsters now only have a 1-goal lead, 30 seconds left in the game. If the Lancers are able to repeat this performance, they could still tie the game. Again, we've got White and Shimizu in the center circle. LaRue has made his way back to the net. Monsters take this draw. Caro knocks it down the boards. White chases down into the end, but everybody else stays in center. It's knocked up the boards. Woods misses it, though, and it goes through to Ross. Ross taps it over. Comes over to the Lancer. He loses it. Woods knocks it back. And White gets it and clears it out of the zone. LaRue is going down to the bench. We now have, again, a man advantage, but play is whistled dead. We have 8.9 seconds left in the third period. Gives the Lancers just about 9 seconds to try to score a tying goal. We again have Lauro staying on the bench. This will give the Lancers that man advantage for this last 9 seconds. They'll need to win this face-off and get it into that back of that net as quick as they can if they want to try to stand a chance. Control is the key. They do win the face-off. Ross gets it back to Johnston. Before he can get it off his stick, though, is tipped away. Woods gets it, and we have an open net goal by Ethan Woods, 86 of the Fresno Monsters, stretching their lead by 2 again. 1.6 seconds left. Again, 86, Ethan Woods of the Fresno Monsters has just scored an open net goal. Brings the score at 2-4, 1.6 seconds left in the third period. Lauro back in net for this last second and a half of the game. And with that buzzer, we come to the end of our game today. Final score, Lancers 2, Monsters 4. This means that with our Monsters victorious, they will move on to the final game of this season, or to the finals game of this season. This will be February 22nd. We are yet to know who their opponent will be at this time. Unfortunately for the Lancers, this will mark the end of their season, but they can go out knowing they played a good game. Thank you for joining us here on GHN Sports. I again am Grae Gerster, and I've been happy to share this time with you. If you're watching this on YouTube, which I'm sure you are because that's the only place it is, please remember to like and subscribe if you're somebody who might watch regularly. We always appreciate and enjoy the support. Until next time, logging off.
Da-na-na, hockey song.
So what do you think of that game?
It was crazy.
Oh, you're fine. So what do you think of that final goal by Mr. Woods?
It was amazing.
Very amazing.
Yeah.